Welcome back. The K2 South African team, the first South Africans to successfully summit the treacherous Himalayan peak, the second highest peak in the world, have now arrived back in the country. John Black and Warren Eva unfurling the South African flag to wave it where it's never been waved before and take a huge step into mountaineering history. Yolulwe Qoshe is at the airport. He joins us now. Yolulwe, good afternoon to you. What's the latest there?
Well, a very good afternoon to you as well as to the viewers once again, Stephen. Well, we have already touched on that our two heroes, the two first ever South Africans to conquer Mount Kitu, a mountain called Savage Mountain, just to illustrate to the viewers how epic a challenge it is to conquer, that have just touched on South African soil. And while the weather might be very cold outside if you're in Johannesburg, but the feeling over here is very warm. I almost shed a tear myself, but I had to remember what I'm here to do. And without any further ado, I'll go to the people. We are here for the people for this occasion. And next to me, I'm pleased to say, on this Newzroom Africa Channel 405 exclusive, I have both the gentlemen of the moment, Warren Eva as well as John Black, next to me. First and foremost, thank you very much for being here. And congratulations on the massive feat. Only two South Africans to ever conquer Mount Kitu. How does it feel?
Well, it's fantastic. It's been for us a journey of about 20 years to get this far. Our mountaineering career started 20 years ago and always with K2 in mind. So to be standing here back on home soil, only a few hours away from our first braai, having summited, we're ecstatic. Excellent.
And on your side, John, how are you feeling to be back in South Africa as a history maker?
Still processing it all. Like Warren says, this has been something that I've been dreaming of since I was about 17 years old. So still a lot to process, but we're absolutely thrilled. We're glad to have been able to climb the mountain, to have been fortunate enough to do so. And we are thrilled to be back safely. And we're looking forward to sharing the story of advancing South African mountaineering and adding a small little bit to the history of mountaineering in South Africa, and we're privileged to have been able to have done that safely.
And Warren, what type of processes and planning does it take when one embarks on such a huge a challenge? You know, knowing the dangers and knowing everything that you have to overcome, how long do you plan to be able to undertake such a challenge?
Well, the planning's been months, if not years, to get this far. But you don't have to look too far into the stats of K2 to know that it's a serious mountain and to be taken seriously. We been gone since 15th of June, so we're just on 2 months that it took to climb the mountain, and that's part of the adjusting to altitude, cold, the conditions, waiting for weather. The statistics on the mountain are quite scary to read. And so we as John said, very glad to be down safely, and I think that's also attributed to our planning. I think we climbed it safely. We did it to the best we could, but obviously happy to be down safe. And 2 months on the mountain, so it's going to take a bit of adjusting back into society, I suppose. But yeah, it was a good trip, and I think as far as preparation goes, we couldn't have done it better. Of course, we were successful, so there we have the results.
And John, as Warren has already alluded, the statistics made for grim reading for many. You know, before this year, only 377 had summited, 91 passing away, trying to do what you have done. When you're on there and you're facing certain challenges, inclement weather, altitude, sickness, all of that, what type of thoughts go through your mind? Do you ever think that you might not be able to see your loved ones again? And how do you navigate through such challenges?
I think, you know, the stats speak for themselves. It would be foolish to go to a mountain like K2 thinking that there's no risk. Warren and I went knowing that there is a degree of risk, but I think we had a very clear line in the sand as to how far we were prepared to push those risks and how far we were prepared to go. And we knew all along that making it to the top wasn't guaranteed, but we were determined to do everything we could to come back safely, and hopefully that included making it to the summit. And we were constantly reevaluating the dangers and the risks and our appetite for it, and considering weather conditions on the snow and the ice, the tents, nutrition, our speed, our health. So it's a constant formula. And in hindsight, I think our preparation, like Warren said, paid off. I think our climb up the mountain went well. We had a little bit of luck. We had a little bit of good weather, but it comes down to years of training and preparation that paid off in the end.
And very, very shortly and lastly, Warren, what is your advice for any other South Africans that might want to try and follow in your footsteps and become the third South Africans to get to the summit of the Savage Mountain, as they call it, Mount Kitu?
Well, John alluded to it. I hope that our success will go in some direction towards advancing South African mountaineering, but my advice is to get started. There's a world out there of mountains that really you could have an entire career of climbing and not just scratch the surface, not touch the surface of it. But there's the Mountain Club of South Africa who have supported us through our entire journey. We've been members of that club for our entire mountaineering career, very active, and South Africa lends itself to the outdoors. We've got our Drakensberg down the road, we've got our Cape Mountains, we've got everything going for us right here on our doorstep. So I really hope that this inspires some people. I hope that people do get out, and it's a really rewarding journey.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time. Congratulations again on the big feat that you have achieved. First ever South Africans to summit Mount Kitu, and we wish you all the best for your future endeavors.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Well, that was the two history makers from South Africa, talking about Warren Eva as well as John Black, telling us about the experiences that they had conquering Mount Kitu and what it takes and all the challenges, what it takes to overcome such challenges. And we were hoping that they will have more adventures that they can undertake and also share those experiences with us. So that's it from this Newzroom Africa Channel 405 exclusive.
Yolulwe Qoshe, thanks very much indeed, live at OR Tambo International this afternoon.